Sarah walked down the old street every morning. The same time, the same path, the same shops. She liked things to stay the same. Change made her worried. Her small apartment was clean and neat. Everything had its place. Her books sat in straight lines on the shelf. Her clothes hung in the closet by color. Her coffee cup always went in the same spot after she washed it. Sarah worked at the library in town. She loved the quiet there. Books never talked back or asked hard questions. They just sat and waited for someone to read them. She knew where every book belonged. When people put books in the wrong places, she fixed them right away. One Tuesday morning, Sarah saw something different. A new coffee shop had opened where the old flower shop used to be. The sign was bright red with gold letters. It said, "Magic Beans Coffee." Sarah stopped walking. She stared at the sign. This was not supposed to happen. She walked faster to the library. Her heart beat quick in her chest. Why did things have to change? The flower shop had been there for 20 years, Mrs. Chun-Hu owned. It was always nice to Sarah. She would wave from behind the counter when Sarah passed by. At the library, Sarah tried to focus on her work. She put books back on shelves. She helped people find what they needed, but her mind kept going back to the coffee shop. What if more things changed? What if the whole street became different? During lunch, Sarah decided to walk past the coffee shop again. Maybe she had made a mistake. Maybe it was still the flower shop, but no, the red sign was still there. Through the window, she could see people sitting at small tables. They were drinking coffee and talking. Some had laptops open. Others read newspapers. A young man came out of the shop. He had messy brown hair and wore a green apron. He saw Sarah looking at the window. He smiled and waved at her. Sarah quickly looked away and walked back to the library. That evening, Sarah cooked dinner the same way she always did. Rice, vegetables, and a small piece of chicken. She ate at her kitchen table while reading a book, but she could not focus on the words. She kept thinking about the coffee shop and the young man who waved at her. The next morning, Sarah took her usual walk to work. She tried not to look at the coffee shop, but she could not help it. The same young man was outside, sweeping the sidewalk. He saw her and waved again. This time, Sarah gave a small wave back before hurrying away. At work, her friend Linda noticed Sarah seemed different. Linda worked at the front desk of the library. She was always cheerful and liked to talk to everyone. "You look worried today," Linda said. "Is everything okay?" Sarah told Linda about the coffee shop. Linda listened and nodded. "Change can be scary," Linda said, "but sometimes it brings good things too. Maybe you should try their coffee sometime." Sarah shook her head. "I don't drink coffee from shops. I make my own at home." "That's okay," Linda said, "but you might be surprised. New places can be nice, too." For the rest of the week, Sarah saw the coffee shop every day. She watched people go in and out. They always looked happy when they came out. Some carried paper cups with the red and gold logo. Others had small bags that probably held coffee beans or pastries. The young man was often outside. Sometimes he watered plants in big pots by the door. Other times he cleaned the windows or put up new signs about coffee specials. He always waved when he saw Sarah. She started to wave back without thinking about it. On Friday, Sarah noticed something else. New. The coffee shop had put up a sign about live music on Saturday nights. Local musicians would play songs while people drank coffee and ate desserts. Sarah had never heard live music except on the radio or television. She wondered what it would sound like in person. Would it be loud? Would people sing along? She had so many questions but no answers. That weekend, Sarah did her usual things. She cleaned her apartment, did laundry, and went to the grocery store. But on Saturday evening, she found herself walking toward the coffee shop. She told herself she was just going for a walk, but deep down she knew she was curious about the music. When she got close to the shop, she could hear guitar music coming from inside. It was soft and pretty, not loud like she expected. She could see people sitting at tables, listening. Some moved their heads to the music. Others just smiled and drank their coffee. Sarah stood outside for a few minutes. She wanted to go in, but she was scared. What if people stared at her? What if she did not know how to order coffee? What if she did not fit in? The young man appeared beside her. She had not seen him come out. "Hi," he said. "I'm Tom. I work here." "I see you walk by every day." Sarah felt her face get hot. "I'm Sarah. I work at the library." "Cool," Tom said. "I love the library. I go there sometimes to read when it's quiet here. Would you like to come in and listen to the music? It's really good tonight." Sarah looked through the window again. The music did sound nice, and Tom seemed friendly, not scary at all. "I don't know how to order coffee," she said quietly. Tom smiled. "That's okay. I can help you. We have all kinds of drinks, not just coffee. Tea, hot chocolate, lemonade, whatever you like." Sarah took a deep breath. Maybe Linda was right. Maybe change could bring good things too. Maybe it was time to try something new. "Okay," she said. "I'll try." Tom held the door open for her. The shop was warm and cozy inside. It smelled like coffee beans and cinnamon. The walls had paintings by local artists. Soft lights hung from the ceiling. People sat in comfortable chairs and on soft couches. A woman with a guitar sat in the corner. She sang a song about traveling to new places. Her voice was gentle and made Sarah feel calm. This was not scary at all. It was actually nice. Tom led Sarah to the counter. "What would you like to try?" Sarah looked at the menu on the wall. There were so many choices. Coffee, tea, smoothies, and things she had never heard of before. "Maybe hot chocolate?" She said. "Perfect choice," Tom said. "Would you like marshmallows on top?" Sarah nodded. Tom made her drink and handed it to her in a warm mug. The hot chocolate was creamy and sweet. It tasted much better than the powder she used at home. Tom showed her to a small table near the window. Sarah sat down and sipped her drink while listening. To the music, she watched people come and go. Everyone seemed relaxed and happy. For the first time in a long time, Sarah felt like she was part of something bigger than just her quiet life. The coffee shop was different from what she expected. It was not loud or scary. It was peaceful and welcoming. When the music ended, people clapped. Sarah clapped too. The woman with the guitar smiled and waved to everyone. Tom came over to Sarah's table. "How was it?" he asked. "It was nice," Sarah said. "Really nice." Glad you came in," Tom said. "You're welcome here anytime." Sarah finished her hot chocolate and got ready to leave. As she walked home, she thought about the evening. She had tried something new and it was good. Maybe change was not always bad. Maybe sometimes it brought wonderful surprises. She looked forward to Monday morning now. She would walk past the coffee shop again, but this time she would not be scared. She might even stop in for another hot chocolate. Monday morning came quickly. Sarah woke up at the same time as always. She made her bed, brushed her teeth, and got dressed. But something felt different today. She was not worried about walking past the coffee shop anymore. When she reached Magic Bean's Coffee, Tom was outside watering the plants. He saw her and smiled big. "Good morning, Sarah. How was your weekend?" Sarah stopped walking. Nobody ever asked her about her weekend before. She thought for a moment. "It was good," she said. "I kept thinking about the music on Saturday. It was really pretty." "I'm so glad you liked it," Tom said. "We have music every Saturday night. Different people come to play. Next week, a man will play piano." Sarah nodded and continued to the library. All day she thought about piano music. She had never heard someone play piano in person. Only on TV or the radio. At lunchtime, Linda asked Sarah about her weekend too. Sarah told her about going to the coffee shop. "That's wonderful," Linda said. "I knew you would like it." Sometimes the scariest things turn out to be the best things. Sarah smiled. Linda was right. She had been scared for nothing. On Tuesday, Sarah walked slower past the coffee shop. She could see Tom inside making coffee for customers. He looked busy but happy. The smell of fresh coffee came through the open door. It smelled much better than the instant coffee she made at home. Wednesday was rainy. Sarah had an umbrella, but the wind was strong. When she got to the coffee shop, Tom was putting a sign in the window. The sign said, "Rainy day special, free cookie with any hot drink." Tom saw Sarah outside and waved her in. "Come in out of the rain, you're getting soaked." Sarah looked down at her wet coat and shoes. "I don't want to make a mess inside." "Don't worry about that," Tom said. "We have towels. Come on." Sarah went inside. Tom gave her a towel to dry her hair. The coffee shop felt extra cozy on the rainy day. People sat by the windows watching the rain fall. Some read books, others worked on laptops. "Would you like some hot chocolate?" Tom asked. "And a free cookie?" Sarah nodded. She sat at the same table as before while Tom made her drink. The cookie was chocolate chip and still warm. It was much better than store cookies. A woman at the next table was reading a book Sarah knew from the library. It was about gardening. Sarah loved that book. "Excuse me," Sarah said quietly to the woman. "That's a really good book." The woman looked up and smiled. "Oh, thank you. I just got it from the library. I'm trying to learn how to grow vegetables." "I work at the library," Sarah said. "There are more gardening books if you want. I can help you find them." "That would be great," the woman said. "I'm Mary. I just moved here last month." Sarah told Mary about the best gardening books. They talked until the rain stopped. Mary was nice and easy to talk to. She had moved from a big city to start a small farm outside of town. "Maybe you could visit my farm sometime," Mary said. "When I get it started," Sarah had never been to a farm before. "I would like that." After Mary left, Tom came to Sarah's table. "You made a new friend," he said. "I think so," Sarah said. "She seems nice." "That's what I love about this place," Tom said. "People meet each other here. They become friends." Sarah had never thought about making new friends. She had Linda at work, but that was different. They only talked at the library. Maybe it would be nice to have more friends. The next few days, Sarah stopped at the coffee shop every morning before work. Tom always had her hot chocolate ready. Sometimes other customers talked to her. An old man named Frank told her stories about the town when he was young. A college student named Emma asked for help with research for her history paper. Sarah found that she liked talking to these people. They were all different, but they were all friendly. The coffee shop felt like a warm, safe place where anyone could belong. On Friday, Tom looked worried. Sarah asked him what was wrong. "My grandfather is coming to visit this weekend," Tom said. "He helped me start this coffee shop. I want everything to be perfect, but I'm nervous." "I'm sure he will be proud of you," Sarah said. "This place is wonderful," Tom smiled. "Thanks, Sarah. That means a lot. Would you like to meet him?" "He'll be here Saturday for the music night." Sarah thought about it. She had only been to the coffee shop once in the evening. But it was nice, and Tom was her friend now. "Okay," she said. "I'll come." Saturday evening, Sarah put on her best dress. It was dark blue with small flowers. She had not worn it in a long time. She walked to the coffee shop feeling excited and a little nervous. The shop was more crowded than before. People filled almost every table. A man with gray hair sat at the piano in the corner. His fingers moved over the keys like magic. The music was soft and beautiful. Tom saw Sarah come in. He waved and walked over with an older man who looked like him but with white hair and kind eyes. "Sarah, this is my grandfather, Joe," Tom said. "Grandpa, this is Sarah. She works at the library, and she's become a good friend." Joe shook Sarah's hand. "Nice to meet you, Sarah. Tom has told me about you. He says you were one of his first regular customers." Sarah felt proud to be called a regular customer. "Your grandson has made a wonderful place here," she said. "He sure has," Joe said. "I'm very proud of him. This coffee shop brings people together. That's what the best places do." Sarah sat with Tom and Joe while the piano player performed. Joe told stories about when Tom was little and how he always wanted to own a restaurant or coffee shop. Tom had worked hard to make his dream come true. During a break in the music, Mary the gardening woman came over to their table. She had brought pictures of her farm progress on her phone. "Sarah, look," Mary said. "I planted the vegetables you suggested. The tomatoes are already growing." Sarah looked at the pictures. The small plants looked healthy and green. "They look perfect," she said. "You should come see them in person soon," Mary said. "Maybe next weekend?" Sarah looked at Tom and Joe, then back at Mary. "Yes, I would love to." After Mary left, Joe smiled at Sarah. You have good friends here. I do, Sarah said. She realized it was true. A month ago, she only had Linda as a friend. Now she had Tom, Mary, Frank the storyteller, Emma the student, and even Joe. When the music ended, people started to leave. Sarah got ready to go too, but Tom stopped her. Wait, he said. I have something for you. Tom went behind the counter and came back with a small bag. Inside was a package of hot chocolate mix and a mug with the Magic Beans coffee logo. Now you can have good hot chocolate at home too, Tom said. But I hope you'll still come here. Of course I will, Sarah said. This is my favorite place now. Walking home, Sarah thought about how much her life had changed. A month ago, she was scared of the new coffee shop. Now it was the best part of her day. She had new friends and new experiences. She was going to visit a farm next weekend. She might even try the coffee shop's coffee soon instead of just hot chocolate. Change was not scary anymore, it was exciting. Sarah could not wait to see what would happen next in her new, more interesting life. Sunday morning was bright and sunny. Sarah woke up early, feeling excited about visiting Mary's farm. She had never been to a real farm before. She put on old jeans and a comfortable shirt like Mary had suggested. At 10 o'clock, Mary picked up Sarah in her small blue truck. The drive took 20 minutes through pretty countryside. Sarah saw rolling hills, old barns, and fields full of crops she could not name. There it is, Mary said, pointing to a small white house with a red roof. Behind the house, Sarah could see rows of green plants and a small barn. Mary parked the truck and they got out. The air smelled fresh and clean, different from the city. Sarah heard birds singing and a cow mooing somewhere far away. Come on, I'll show you around, Mary said. They walked to the vegetable garden first. Mary had planted tomatoes, carrots, lettuce, and beans. Everything was growing well. Some tomatoes were starting to turn red. This is amazing, Sarah said. You grew all this yourself? With help from those library books you recommended, Mary said. And a lot of trial and error. Mary showed Sarah the small barn where she kept 3 chickens and a goat named Buster. The chickens clucked and pecked at the ground. Buster came over to the fence and let Sarah pet his soft fur. Do you get eggs from the chickens? Sarah asked. Every day, Mary said. Would you like to help me collect them? Sarah had never touched a real egg that came from a chicken. Mary showed her how to reach under the hens gently. The eggs were warm and smooth. Sarah carried them carefully in a small basket. They spent the morning walking around the farm. Mary explained how she planned to sell vegetables at the farmer's market in town. She wanted to make enough money to buy more animals and plant more crops. For lunch, Mary made sandwiches with lettuce and tomatoes from her garden. The vegetables tasted much better than the ones from the grocery store. They were fresh and full of flavor. This is the best lunch I've ever had, Sarah said. Food always tastes better when you grow it yourself, Mary said. Maybe you could try growing something in your apartment. Herbs are easy to start with. Sarah thought about this. She had never grown anything before. But if Mary could learn from library books, maybe she could too. On the drive back to town, Sarah felt peaceful and happy. The farm visit had been wonderful. She liked being outside and learning about where food comes from when Mary dropped her. Off at home, Sarah went straight to her bookshelf. She looked through her books about plants and gardening. She had read them before but never thought about trying to grow anything herself. Monday morning, Sarah stopped at the coffee shop as usual. Tom was busy with the morning rush, but he waved when he saw her. How was the farm visit? He asked while making her hot chocolate. It was perfect, Sarah said. Mary taught me so much. I think I want to try growing herbs in my apartment. That's a great idea, Tom said. My mom grows herbs in her kitchen window. They smell amazing and you can cook with them. Frank the storyteller was at his usual table reading the newspaper. He looked up when he heard Sarah talking about herbs. Herbs are wonderful to grow, Frank said. My wife used to grow basil, mint, and rosemary. The whole house smelled like a garden. Sarah sat with Frank for a few minutes. He told her about his wife's garden and how she used the herbs in cooking. Frank's stories always made Sarah feel like she was learning about the town's history. At work, Sarah looked up books about growing herbs indoors. She found several good ones and checked them out to take home. Linda noticed the books and asked about them. "I'm going to try growing herbs," Sarah said. "My friend Mary thinks I can do it." "That sounds wonderful," Linda said. "I grow mint on my balcony. It's very easy. You should try that one first." After work, Sarah went to the garden center outside of town. She had never been to one before. There were so many plants and flowers. The smell was green and earthy. A young woman who worked there helped Sarah pick out small pots, soil, and seeds for basil, mint, and parsley. She explained how to plant them and take care of them. "Start with just these 3, the woman said. "When you get good at these, you can try more." Sarah carried her supplies home carefully. She set up the pots on her kitchen windowsill where they would get morning sun. She planted the seeds just like the instructions said. Then she watered them gently. The next few days, Sarah checked her herbs every morning before work. She looked for tiny green shoots to appear. On Thursday, she saw the first small mint plants poking through the soil. "They're growing," she told Tom at the coffee shop. "I can't believe it worked." "Of course it worked," Tom said. "You're good at taking care of things. Look how well you organize the library." Sarah had never thought about it that way. Maybe she was good at taking care of things? She kept her apartment clean and organized. She helped people find books. Now she was growing plants. On Saturday, Sarah went to the farmer's market for the first time. Mary had a small stand with vegetables from her farm. Sarah bought tomatoes and lettuce to take home. "These herbs are coming along nicely," Mary said, looking at photos Sarah showed her on her phone. "In a few weeks you can start using them in cooking." The farmer's market was busy and colorful. People sold vegetables, flowers, bread, and homemade crafts. Sarah walked around looking at everything. She bought a small bouquet of sunflowers for her kitchen table. An older woman at the flower stand smiled at Sarah. "First time here?" she asked. "Yes," Sarah said. "I love all the colors." "Come back next week," the woman said. "I'll have different flowers then." Each week is like a surprise. Sarah liked the idea of weekly surprises. Her old life had no surprises at all. Now every day brought something new to discover. That evening, Sarah went to the coffee shop for music night. A woman played guitar and sang folk songs. Sarah knew some of the songs from the radio and hummed along quietly. During a break, the guitar player came to Sarah's table. "I saw you enjoying the music," she said. "Do you play any instruments?" Sarah shook her head. "I never learned any." "It's never too late to start," the woman said. "Music is for everyone." Sarah thought about this on her walk home. Maybe she could learn to play something. Piano looked hard, but maybe something simpler. Sunday morning, Sarah checked her herbs again. The basil and parsley were starting to come up too. All 3 pots had tiny green plants reaching toward the sun. She made her coffee and sat at the kitchen table looking at her herbs and the sunflowers. Her apartment felt more alive with plants in it. The space that used to be just clean and organized now felt warm and growing. Sarah realized how much had changed in just a few weeks. She had new friends, new hobbies, and new interests. She was trying things she never thought she would try. The scared feeling about change was completely gone. She thought about the guitar player's words. Maybe learning music was another change she could make. Or maybe she could volunteer at the farmer's market. Or take a cooking class to learn how to use her herbs. For the first time in her life, Sarah felt excited about the future. She did not know what would happen next, but she knew it would be good. Change had brought her so many wonderful things. She was ready for whatever came next. 3 weeks later, Sarah's herbs were growing strong and green. The mint leaves were big enough to pick and use. She had made her first cup of fresh mint tea that morning. It tasted much better than tea bags from the store. At the coffee shop, Tom noticed Sarah looked excited about something. "You seem happy today," he said while making her hot chocolate. "I made mint tea with my own herbs," Sarah said. "It was perfect." "That's amazing," Tom said. "You should bring some mint here. I could make you a mint hot chocolate." Sarah had never thought about mixing her herbs with other things. That sounds interesting. Bring some tomorrow, Tom said. We can experiment. At the library, Sarah was helping a young boy find books about dinosaurs when she heard familiar music. Someone was playing guitar in the children's reading area. It was the same woman from Saturday night at the coffee shop. Sarah walked over to see what was happening. The guitar player, whose name was Lisa, was playing songs for story time. Children sat in a circle listening and clapping. After the songs, Lisa packed up her guitar. She saw Sarah watching. Hi again, Lisa said. Do you work here? Yes, Sarah said. I help people find books. I didn't know you played here too. Once a month. Lisa said, I love playing for kids. They're the best audience. Sarah helped Lisa carry her guitar case to the front door. You said it's never too late to learn music, Sarah said quietly. Did you mean that? Of course, Lisa said. How old do you think I was when I started playing? Sarah looked at Lisa. She seemed to be in her 40s, maybe older. 20? Lisa laughed. 35. I was going through a hard time and needed something new. Music saved me. This surprised Sarah. Lisa played so well, it seemed like she had played forever. There's a music store downtown, Lisa said. They give lessons. The owner, Mr. Peters, is very patient with beginners. Sarah thought about this all day. Maybe she really could learn to play something. It would be another new thing to try. After work, Sarah walked to the music store. She had passed it many times but never went inside. The window had guitars, keyboards, and other instruments she did not recognize. Inside, the store was full of music. Someone was playing piano in a back room. Guitars hung on the walls like art. An older man with a gray beard came out from behind the counter. Can I help you find something? Are you Mr. Peters? Sarah asked. I am, he said with a smile. Lisa from the coffee shop said you give music lessons. I've never played anything before, Mr. Peters nodded. Everyone starts somewhere. What kind of music do you like? Sarah thought about the piano music at the coffee shop and the guitar songs. At story time, piano sounds pretty, but guitar seems easier to carry around. Both are wonderful choices, Mr. Peters said. Would you like to try them both and see which feels right? He led Sarah to a small room with a piano and several guitars. First, he showed her how to sit at the piano and place her hands on the keys. When she pressed the key, the sound was clear and beautiful. Then he gave her a small guitar. It was lighter than she expected. He showed her how to hold it and where to put her fingers. Try strumming across all the strings, he said. Sarah ran her thumb across the strings. The sound was nice, but not as clear as the piano. I think I like piano better, she said. Piano it is, Mr. Peters said. When would you like to start lessons? Sarah felt nervous again, but it was a good nervous. Next week? Perfect. We'll start with basic finger positions and simple songs. On her way home, Sarah stopped at the coffee shop to tell Tom about her decision. Piano lessons, Tom said. That's wonderful. My grandfather plays piano. He'll be so excited to hear about this. Emma, the college student, was at her usual table working on homework. She looked up when she heard about piano lessons. I play piano, too, Emma said. If you ever want someone to practice with, let me know. Sarah was amazed at how many people in her life were connected to music. It made her feel like she was joining a special group that weekend at the farmer's market. Sarah bought more vegetables from Mary. She also stopped at the flower stand to buy daisies for her kitchen. You're becoming a regular, the flower woman said. I'm Helen. I see you here every week now. I'm Sarah. I work at the library. Oh, I love the library, Helen said. My daughter takes guitar lessons there with Lisa. Sarah realized how small the town really was. Everyone knew everyone in some way. She was starting to be part of that web of connections. At Mary's vegetable stand, Sarah told her friend about the piano lessons. That's so exciting, Mary said. Music and gardening go together well. I always play music when I work in the garden. What kind of music? Sarah asked. Folk songs, classical, sometimes jazz, different music for different moods. Sarah bought extra tomatoes and herbs from Mary. She was planning to cook a real dinner for herself using fresh ingredients. It would be another new thing to try. Sunday afternoon, Sarah decided to cook pasta with tomatoes and basil from Mary's farm and mint from her own plants. She had never cooked with fresh herbs before. She cut the tomatoes and tore the basil leaves like she had seen on cooking shows. The smell filled her kitchen. When she mixed everything together with the pasta, it looked like something from a restaurant. The dinner was delicious. The herbs made everything taste bright and fresh. Sarah felt proud that she had grown some of the ingredients herself. While eating, she looked at her kitchen. The herbs on the windowsill were getting bigger every day. The sunflowers and daisies made colorful spots around the room. Her apartment felt alive and welcoming. Sarah thought about how scared she had been of the coffee shop just 2 months ago. Now she had friends there. She was growing plants, going to the farmer's market, and starting piano lessons. Her quiet, careful life had become full of interesting things. Monday morning, Sarah brought fresh mint leaves to the coffee shop. Tom was excited to try making mint hot chocolate. "This is going to be amazing," he said. Adding the mint to her usual drink, the mint hot chocolate was creamy and refreshing at the same time. Other customers smelled it and asked what it was. "Sarah grew the mint herself," Tom told them proudly. Sarah felt proud too. She had contributed something to the coffee shop that made her feel special. Frank the storyteller tried the mint hot chocolate and loved it. "You should ask Tom to put this on the menu," he said. "Really?" Sarah asked. "Really," Tom said. "We could call it Sarah's Garden Hot Chocolate." The idea of having a drink named after her seemed impossible, but Tom was serious about it. He said he would talk to his grandfather about adding it to the menu. Walking to work, Sarah realized she felt different. Inside, she used to worry about everything being the same. Now she looked forward to changes and new experiences. She had discovered she was braver than she thought. At the library, Linda noticed Sarah's confidence. "You seem so happy lately," Linda said. "All these new activities are good for you?" "I feel like a different person," Sarah said. "But still myself, if that makes sense," Linda smiled. "That makes perfect sense. You're still Sarah, but now you're Sarah with a full life." Sarah liked that idea. She was still herself, but better. She had learned that trying new things did not change who she was inside. It just gave her more ways to be happy. Sarah's first piano lesson was on a Tuesday evening. She walked to the music store feeling excited and nervous. Mr. Peters greeted her with a warm smile and led her to the small practice room. "We'll start with the basics," he said, showing her how to sit properly and curve her fingers. "First, let's learn where middle C is." He pointed to a white key in the center of the piano. When Sarah pressed it, the note rang clear and sweet. Mr. Peters taught her to find all the C keys on the piano by counting black key patterns. "Now try playing C with your thumb," he said, "then D with your pointer finger." Sarah pressed each key carefully. The sounds were simple but beautiful. In 30 minutes, she learned to play a 5-note scale with her right hand. "Practice this every day," Mr. Peters said. "Even 10 minutes helps. Next week, we'll add your left hand." Sarah walked home humming the 5 notes. She could not wait to practice tomorrow. At the coffee shop the next morning, Tom was behind the counter with his grandfather Joe. They were both smiling about something. "Sarah," Tom called, "we have good news. Grandpa wants to add your mint hot chocolate to our regular menu." Sarah's eyes went wide. "Really?" "Really," Joe said. "Tom made it for me yesterday. It's delicious. We want to call it Sarah's Garden Special." Sarah felt her cheeks get warm. Having her name on a menu seemed like something that happened to other people, not to her. "We'll need fresh mint every week," Tom said. "Can you grow enough?" Sarah thought about her 3 small mint plants. "I might need bigger pots." "The garden center can help with that," Joe said. This could be the start of a beautiful partnership. At work, Sarah told Linda about the menu addition. Linda was so excited she clapped her hands. "Sarah, this is wonderful. You're becoming a local business owner." Sarah had never thought of herself that way. But she supposed growing herbs to sell was a kind of business, even a small one. That evening, Sarah practiced piano for 20 minutes. Her fingers felt clumsy at first, but by the end she could play the scale smoothly. The notes sounded better when she played them evenly. On Saturday, Sarah went to the farmer's market early to talk to Helen about bigger pots for her mint. Helen's flower stand also sold garden supplies. You want to grow more mint? Helen asked. That's smart. Mint grows fast and easy. Helen helped Sarah pick out 3 large pots and special soil for herbs. Mint likes to spread, she said. These big pots will give it room to grow. At Mary's vegetable stand, Sarah told her friend about the coffee shop menu. That's amazing. Mary said, You're going to be a herb farmer like me. Maybe we could share a booth here someday. The idea excited Sarah. She imagined having her own stand at the farmer's market, selling different herbs to people who wanted to cook with fresh ingredients. What other herbs grow well? Sarah asked. Rosemary, thyme, oregano? Mary said, People love those for cooking. You could grow a whole herb garden. Sarah bought vegetables for dinner and headed home to repot her mint plants. The work was messy, but fun. Soil got under her fingernails and on her kitchen floor, but she did not mind. When she finished, the mint plants looked happy in their new big homes. Sunday morning, Sarah practiced piano before going to the coffee shop for music night prep. Lisa was there early, tuning her guitar. How are the piano lessons going? Lisa asked. Good, Sarah said. I can play a scale now. That's how it starts, Lisa said. Scales, then simple songs, then before you know it you're playing real music. Will you teach me a song sometime? Sarah asked. Something easy? I'd love to, Lisa said. What kind of song do you want to learn? Sarah thought about the pretty folk songs Lisa played at the coffee shop. Something peaceful, like the songs you play here. I know the perfect one, Lisa said. It only uses 5 notes. We could start next week if you want. Sarah felt a warm feeling in her chest. Her friends were all helping her learn new things. Tom with cooking herbs, Mary with gardening, Mr. Peters with piano, and now Lisa with songs. That evening at music night, Sarah listened to Lisa play with new understanding. She watched Lisa's fingers move on the guitar strings and tried to imagine her own fingers moving on piano keys. During a break, Emma, the college student, sat with Sarah. I heard you're learning piano, Emma said. That's so cool. I started when I was little, but it's never too late. Everyone keeps saying that, Sarah said. About it never being too late. Because it's true, Emma said. My grandmother started painting when she was 70. Now she sells her paintings at art shows. Sarah thought about this. If someone could start painting at 70, then starting. Piano at her age was not strange at all. Monday morning brought exciting news. Tom had put a small sign on the coffee shop counter that said, Try Sarah's Garden Special Hot Chocolate with Fresh Mint. 3 people ordered it before Sarah even arrived for her morning drink. Tom was beaming with pride. It's a hit, he said. Mrs. Johnson from the flower shop said it reminded her of her grandmother's garden. Sarah felt proud and nervous at the same time. People she did not even know were drinking something made with her herbs. Frank the storyteller was at his usual table with the newspaper. He waved Sarah over. I tried your mint drink, he said. It's wonderful, reminded me of summer evenings when I was young. Thank you, Sarah said. That makes me happy. You know, Frank said, my wife used to grow herbs behind our house. She would have loved to meet you. She always said herbs were like little bottles of sunshine. Sarah liked that description. Herbs were like sunshine you could grow and share with others. At the library, more people than usual asked Sarah for gardening books. Word was spreading about her herbs. Some people wanted to start their own kitchen gardens. You're inspiring people, Linda said. Look how many gardening books we've checked out this week. Sarah looked at the empty shelf where the herb-growing books usually sat. It felt good to know she was helping others try new things too. That evening at piano practice, Sarah played her scale perfectly 3 times in a row. She was ready for something new. She tried to remember the simple melody Lisa had hummed at the coffee shop. Using just the 5 notes she knew, Sarah picked out a tiny tune. It was not a real song, but it sounded musical. She played it over and over, changing it slightly each time. When she stopped playing, Sarah realized she had been at the piano for an hour without noticing. Time had flown by. This must be what people meant when they said they loved music. Sarah looked around her apartment. The big mint plants sat healthy and green on the windowsill. The piano book lay open on her kitchen table next to the fresh flowers from the farmer's market. Her space felt full of life and possibility. She thought about how much had changed since that first scary day when she saw the coffee shop. Now she was part of a community of friends. She was growing things, learning music, and even contributing to a business. Sarah realized she was not just trying new things anymore. She was building a completely different kind of life. A life where she created things instead of just organizing them. A life where she connected with people instead of just helping them find books. It was better than anything she could have imagined when she was afraid of change.